Hey, everybody out there. Thank you for tuning in and being part of our encouraging messages for another Thursday or whatever day you're able to watch our videos. Um, what unusual times we're living in. And I know we've heard that ad nauseum almost for the last 4 months. And we all try to figure out what's going to change based off of COVID-19. I think about school starting up this year and how different of a scenario that is for all of the kids that are in my youth group, and I know that are scattered across the U.S. How odd it would be. One of the memories that I have about going back to school was always getting that new outfit or new clothing items and the whole back to school shopping spree, and how different that would have been this year. Not only does it not matter if you have a new outfit, but uh, yeah, no one's going to see you. No one's going to care if you have a new pair of shoes on or something of that nature. It's just a different experience altogether, which may not be a bad thing. I remember some of the back to school shopping trips that I had with my mom, and I know tensions were high. I didn't like summer being over and spending money and all those emotions that would go along with it. And so, apologize to my mom, because I know that I probably wasn't the most easy person to deal with when back to school was starting to roll around. And so, I'm sure many of you guys can sympathize and empathize with that thought process as well. So maybe not everything is bad, but there are different things. Speaking of parent-child relationships, um, I really do enjoy this age that I get to experience with my son, and being just 2 years old. It's a crazy blessing for us to try to figure out life. Right now, um, I'm like his own personal superhero. There's nothing that I can't do. In fact, if his mom tries to do it and is unable to, Dad certainly can fix it. Dad can take care of anything, and even if the thing is physically impossible for a human, my son believes that I have the ability. My son believes that I. I'm probably the closest thing to perfection as a human can be, even though I mess up all the time, and I am by no means a perfect parent. My son doesn't see me as such. He thinks that I can do just about everything. And I know that part of that is because he gains a lot of his identity based off of his relationship to me, right? If he knows that I can do great things, then he himself can also do these great things. He's strong, he's capable, he has the abilities that he needs. And that's based off of his relationship with me. I wonder where we lose that. I know at some point my kid will become a teenager, and then something happens at that age that parents can't do anything right. So you go from the time that I can do nothing wrong to I won't be able to do anything right. I don't know when that switches up, and I know that has to deal with independence and trying to create your own identity, one that's not absorbed into your parents and who they are. But something happens with us in the spiritual realm as well, where we try to distance ourselves from God. We try to keep ourselves a completely separate entity from the God who cares and loves us. And so perhaps we rebel in various ways throughout our lives. And that's a way for us to try to assert who we are as individuals. And so I look at this idea. How do we really try to frame our relationship with God? And I look at this passage from Psalm chapter 95, verse 1 through 7. It's a well-known psalm. There's two songs that are embedded within, two modern day songs that are embedded within this one psalm. And so I thought this would be a good way for us to focus on our relationship with God, and maybe how we frame our relationship with God and who God is will dictate how we view ourselves. So let's check this out. Psalm chapter 95, verse 1 through 7. Come, let us sing with joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is a great God, the great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us bow down and worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our God, our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. Today, if you would only hear his voice. The psalmist goes on to encourage the Israelites to not be rebellious, to not push back against God, but instead to be consumed with his identity. For if God is the great God, the God who formed the world, the universe that we know, if he has created everything and then he calls us his people, see, now my identity is not trying to rebel against God, but to be absorbed and consumed by God. Because we are his people. We are the one that he cares for and takes care of. And maybe if that's the reality, our viewpoint will be much more like my son, who I don't see God as someone that I need to rebel against, but someone that I am proud to have as my father, someone who I know is perfect. When my son looks at me, he gets this idea of perceived greatness of an earthly father. But when I look at God, I see the actual greatness of my heavenly Father. And that should make me feel a little bit better about myself, because if a great God who can do anything cares about me, what does that say about who I am? Thank you. God bless, and good night.